Hello, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a steampunk clock. Now at the top I'll show you a little picture of the work I've previously done, and these are the materials. PVA glue, standard. This is from Wilkinson's. You can buy it from a pound shop, you can buy it from a school supplier, doesn't matter, PVA glue. These are little rhinestones, little accessories. During the video I'll show you alternatives, but these are self-adhesive, have a nice faceted look, and I'm going to use them as rivets. Pre-cut kids foam cogs. I'm lucky enough to have a little die cutting machine and the appropriate dies, so if I want to use these on foam I can churn them out as often as I need. You can buy the metallic ones I've used before online. You could cut them out of card if you've got the time, and a sharp knife. E6000 glue, we've discussed in previous videos. It's a very powerful glue and will be ideal for holding dominoes to the surface, as they have slightly more weight than most of the materials. Dominoes, not a lot to be said. These are reasonably good quality ones. Some of the very cheap black dominoes are in fact just paper on a papier-mâché core. If you're trying to stick anything to them, they will just fall apart. These have a certain solidity, and the little spinner adds a nice brass detail. And under these dominoes there is an artist's canvas. I'm using 12 by 10. That is a fairly standard size. I mean, you should be able to pick up frames cheaply, either from a charity shop or a professional framer, but equally you can pick them up in supermarkets, you can pick them up in Wilkinson's, all these sort of cheapy shops. Keep your eye out, you may be able to pick up a nice frame for £1 or £2. You can pay more if you want to. And then the main material I'm going to be using is funky foam. This is 2mm thick foam, and this will be the main material on display. The colour doesn't matter, it's going to be painted. Here's the original piece, as I've shown you earlier. The dominoes are obviously the hours, funky foam cogs, panels of the funky foam, and the individual rivets been painted, highlighted and distressed to look like a piece of old mechanical detritus that has been reused to form a clock. Quirky angles are just that, they're quirky, they catch the eye, they take things off kilter and make it look more like a reused or recycled piece. That's the best rectangle you could get out of the side of an old boiler. To replicate this effect is quite simple. You merely don't stick the foam on straight. And so that I don't precisely copy the earlier piece, which I aligned by doing this to get the maximum diagonal length, just to save myself a bit of cutting. Well, I don't want to copy that, so I'm going to bring this angle down to about here. Just pick a point, turn it, and now I'm going to use my pencil to make a light mark across like that. This just shows me where to glue and where to bring the piece back to. PVA glue. Something we've all done in school, I hope. I hope you went to school anyway. Here we go. I could take a spatula and straighten that all out. However, it's going to get squashed in by the weight that's going to be placed on it in a moment. So there you can see, it's just going to come up to that corner there. If you have a roller, heavy books, anything. Right. Let's take this piece and once again offer it up. Draw your line and glue. Now I could just glue the back of the punky foam, but then you put it down, you get it everywhere, and it just turns into a horrible pain in the backside mess. You don't need a lot. You're not gluing space shuttle tiles on. These are just funky foam, very light, very easy to work with. There's my line, there's two of my panels. And now I'll just have my heavy book, which I use as a weight. Pop them on, 10 minutes or so, just to hold those two in place while it sets. The glue on the first two large panels has dried now, so simply turn it over. And with a craft knife, trim along your lines. It doesn't have to be done hard. Funky foam cuts very easily, very neatly. The bits you trim off will be used to fill in the gaps and can be used to make your cogs. Sometimes it catches a little bit, just run your knife along as well. And there you go. One edge, two edges, and the last little bit on the bottom. Again, to keep the distressed look, what I would recommend doing now is to find a nice triangular shaped offcut and use it to fill in across as if something somewhere has been patched. You can just go like that and then use another piece off the other side. It's up to you how complicated or how simple you make this. I'm going to draw a line there. That's the triangle I want. So I'm going to take my other piece and fit it in there. And mark that edge and that edge with a good strong ruler. Draw a line. I'll just move the canvas out of the way to give myself a flat workspace. Draw a line across the two, or just cut straight through if it's all to hand. That gives me another panel, and then one of my offcuts may well just, almost, but not quite, and it's not worth scrabbling around. One of the other pieces will fit at some point in some way, or you can make another panel. So again, a little more glue. Here we go. Pop him in. That's another panel. As you can see, sometimes the funky foam, as you're putting it down, becomes stretched and slightly distorted. But as this is meant to look distressed, it doesn't really matter. Seams are going to have popped from whichever boiler was used to make this clock. Now, this piece here could go quite nicely over there, but then this one corner is beginning to look very complicated. So I think I will do that, and because it's the last piece, I'm just going to glue it straight on, and I'll do what I did with the first two big chunks and cut it off after it's finished and dried in place. There we go. Once again, heavy book for 5 or 10 minutes, and that'll be weighed down nicely. Right, time to trim off the remaining small pieces and talk about finding centres. Here we go, the last few pieces coming off, and we'll have a covered artist canvas ready for our next stages.